What's up, guys? I'm here at 2016 San Diego Comic-Con, and I'm honored to have here with me composer Tyler Bates. How you doing?
Pleasure to meet you. I'm
Good.
doing great today.
All right. So can you tell me, this isn't your first Comic-Con. Are there any things that you're personally excited to see, or are you going to have time, to see any of those things, over the course of this week?
I don't know that I'll see much. To be honest with you, I get a little anxious in the midst of large crowds.
Oh, okay.
But I am very excited for this Comic-Con. I know that we'll probably get a peek at something that is of the new Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's incredibly exciting to me. I've seen a bit of the movie already, and it's incredibly powerful, moving. I'm really just so excited for people to get a taste of it.
All right, cool. So, with a film like that, with Marvel Studios in general, there's having that immersive storytelling of having all of these various franchises that intertwine together. It can sometimes be tricky, at least with directors have commented that sometimes they have to make sure that they're staying within the confines of that shared universe. Do you find any difficulties in that regard, or would you say in terms of the music that you bring to Guardians, for example, was something that you felt that creatively that you had that opportunity to do?
I think the music for Guardians is very specifically Guardians.
Yes.
I don't, our objective is not to create a typical, let's say, superhero kind of score. It's more of a space rock opera.
Right.
I think the language of that music is unique to Guardians. I haven't been faced really with the challenge too much of addressing characters from other Marvel properties, divesting into Guardians of the Galaxy. So if and when that occurs, I'll approach that, at that time, and obviously that would require a bit of discussion with, the director and the studio to understand what information they want known in as far as how music is going to help underscore that. It's tricky business. The Avengers is that's everybody.
Yeah.
So that's like a whole different way of thinking, because there are a million themes that need to be considered and intertwined, and you're spinning into one and out of another. So I imagine that thinking and that challenge is incredibly difficult and unique unto itself. So Guardians has not presented me with that challenge yet, but we definitely have some pretty high expectations for what we're aiming for on this one, no doubt.
Cool. And actually, to jump off of that, with some of the other elements that we have with this shared universe, with the directors, I understand that a lot of times they may not necessarily have direct correspondence with each other, but they may exchange notes here and there. Is there a similar relationship in that regard to the composers that work within the films that are in that universe, or not really?
I'm not certain of that because, again, I haven't done a film that requires any mashups.
Gotcha.
But I would say that the producers at Marvel they're very, very smart filmmakers, and they understand exactly what they're after. It's not that they're not open to various interpretations of ideas, because I find that they've been excellent to work with. But we're talking about me as a composer on Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm a small part of a pretty huge canvas, so I try and concern myself with what the matter at hand is, and I'm just very, thankful to be part of it and proud of the work that we're doing. So.
And with Guardians, I know that things are very tight-lipped, but it's going to introduce a new element, which is Star-Lord's dad. So, what what are your thoughts on having that element introduced into the new film?
For me, it's great, especially knowing how much Peter Quill was missing that connection and seeking his father out in the first film. It's been a void in his life. It's very interesting what happens in the film. I can't really elaborate much on it,
Sure.
but having known loss in my own life, I've related to that from the beginning of the film, especially with the loss of his mother and how spiritually she's with him in his
Yeah,
life.
especially in the music.
I mean, there's a tremendous parallel to his character and his mother dying to my own life, and how my own mother turned me on to music, and it became very important in my life. A lot of that music that I've now passed on to my own kids. So I'm emotionally connected to it in a deeper way than probably the assignment that's in front of me as a composer. So I get very much invested in it, and it definitely starts to consume a lot of my psyche during the course of working on the film. I'm very excited for this one, though. I think that the introduction of new characters, new ideas, is going to allow the score to grow in a way that's going to be very fulfilling and exciting for me. And the challenge is going to be, God, I mean, I don't even want to think too much on that because we still have a ways to go. But everything that's transpired so far has been really rewarding, really exciting, and we're anxious to get into the next step. And right now, James is doing some initial work he needs to take care of before he can really engage me in the next part of the process. But I'm thankful that we're able to develop musical ideas before and during production of the film, so it gives us a greater understanding of what we're doing when it is time to actually score the film.
Awesome. So, lastly, you just were talking about next steps. Are you already having in the back of your mind on what that next project will be? Because a lot of with Marvel itself, they have a reputation of keeping the same pool of people that they have, whether it's with directors that they have, whether it's with the composers. So have you already been approached about something that may come down the line, or you're not able to talk about what that may be?
I can't even fathom looking away from Guardians
Okay.
at other things. I have goals in my life that I have before me that I'm developing, pursuing. But when it comes to what I need, the business that I need to take care of, it's Guardians is number one, and I need to prove to myself and to James and everybody I'm collaborating with that I would even be worthy of another opportunity. So I have a lot to accomplish between now and then, and I'm not concerned about anything after this. I feel that the important thing is to service this movie in the best way possible, to do something that's better than anything I've done, and if that happens, then the rest will take care of itself. I'm not going to take my eye off the balls.
All right, there you go. All right, well, there you have it, Real Filmers. Again, I'm here at 2016 San Diego Comic-Con. I'm Brandon Troy. This is Tyler Bates. I will see you soon.